Right, guys, I've started the speaker out of this little radio. Well, I've started cleaning him up, and I pulled him out, and I thought, that screw there is a bit strange how it's mounted, and this is a short one, long one. That's not the original transformer that was in this thing. It's a 7,000 ohm tranny, so there's no worries. It'll work. But, okay, look here. They've just cut the old wires off and haven't put these back through there. But then again, these mightn't be long enough. So that could be the reason why you wouldn't just extend these. I don't know. Do the job, do it properly. And here's the tails of the old transformer secondary winding that have just been cut off as well. So, yeah, bit of a bodgy job there, I'll tell you. Okay, anyway, we're going to lift this transformer off, clean the speaker up, and I've got a couple of little spots here that I've got to patch up with this speaker. That little one there is, yeah, he's a nasty little fella, but some liquid electrical tape will do that. Okay, so I'm going to lift this one off and make it look a little bit nicer than what it is. I don't know what this transformer's out of, but certainly not this radio. Might put some better looking screws and nuts back in this. This one looks like it's been chopped off. It's hard to turn, which indicates the end of it's probably been cut with a pair of cutters. Let's have a look here. No, it's just a horrible looking screw. And this one, well, yeah, it's that long that it's pushed the little bracket up. I don't know what sort of people do work like that. I'm sure this is not the way we're all taught. Okay, screw there as long as anything. I can reuse the nuts, but I'll be putting new screws in. And transformer, there he is. And as I said, he looks fine. We'll just clean him up a little bit. We'll clean the speaker a little bit. We'll probably extend these leads. I will extend them out so that they will be long enough. It doesn't matter where we bring them. This little fella here would be nice. He doesn't want to come off. We might just put a bit of super glue on him and hold him in place. I would like to keep the label on the speaker. Okay, let's get this cleaned up and do something with this. Right, well, we've gone a little bit further along the track. The speaker, we've given a little bit of a clean up, patched him up with liquid electrical tape. There's a few little spots that were just a little bit, just needed a little bit of help to stop them going any further. He stuck his label down and put a couple of bolts in there, lengthened the leads and put them back where they should be, back up through here and mounted so that we can mount our speaker back in. He's looking pretty good. Pretty good, actually. Yeah. So that's what we've done with the speaker. The top, I've left our fur on there. This flocking material. I was going to do this, but actually I have resprayed it with some spray paint just lightly. There's a little bit of off colouring, but it's a big job to strip it down and reflock the whole thing. So I've just done that. It's still nice and furry. It's still got the nice feel and the nice look with the dial on it, actually. We've lubed these up. They're quite okay. So this is ready to put the speaker back on and put back on the radio when we get to that. We've cleaned the knobs up. All the knobs come up extremely good. So they're good. 4 knobs there. And our tuning shaft. He's come up. Well, brilliant. Don't you just love working with brass? It's heaps better than plastic, isn't it? We've taken that little circ clip out. I didn't record all this. Grease the shaft, and that's running very nicely. So that can go back into the front panel as well. So that's a couple of things we've been doing. Okay, we'll mount our tuning shaft back in. Now this fella just goes on with a star washer on the back and a nut. And tighten him up, and that's that bit done. Okay, we'll tighten him up in a moment. And our speaker goes in. Turn him over. Our speaker actually goes in with the transformer towards the top of the radio back here. Here's a bit of masking tape that I haven't removed yet. We better get that off. That looks a bit better. Okay, so our fella goes in like this. Now the 2 screws here, we've got one here, one here. That's all there was in it. There is one over there, which, well, doesn't fit into anything. I'm not real sure. But these 2 fit perfectly, so they're the 2 screws we'll be using. Okay, guys, well, we're up to the tuning assembly. Now, where I'm going to start here, I'm going to resolder this capacitor back in. I will find the foil end of this fella. I just use an oscilloscope and touch him for maximum signal. You can soon find out which end is the foil side of, or which wire connects to the outside foil. Put him in here, get rid of some rubbish out of this area. Blob of solder, another piece being cut off here. I could have done some of this, but yeah, there's been work done on here before me. So fit him in nicely, get rid of this rubbish, and probably get rid of some of the rubbish on this end as well. This will be good to do this before this goes back in. It's pretty hard to work on. Also, make sure, I think that's been turned, but just make sure everything turns okay. Put some alcohol on, loosen the paint that's been put on there so we can adjust and set this fairly easily. Another thing with these, the center strap or center wire that goes across there, it's a brass wire, goes across the shaft, the tuning shaft, to make a good earth contact on the shaft. Because not necessarily it's a good contact, certainly not, between the roller bearings and the case. That's not a good point of contact. So with these fellas, I've lifted them up, and especially with this one, he's a little bit on the loose side when he's clipped in, and it doesn't actually push down hard at all on the shaft. These are grounded here, they're soldered on. So I'm just going to put a slight bend in him, just a little bit more than what he is. I'm going to clean them up with, shine them up with something anyway, probably some Brasso or something like that, so they're nice and clean. clean some alcohol on them, put some isopropyl alcohol on along here, plus on the shaft to clean all this up in that area where they run there. Okay, just right in the centre. That has to make good contact, otherwise you end up with a scratchy, horrible variable capacitor that puts lots of rubbish on your radio when you're trying to tune it. There's a little ball bearing up the back there. We'll be putting a spot of oil and a spot of oil down on those down there. Mind you, this is running very, very nicely. This is a good little radio, this. Okay, let's start by doing this. Now, we've got to heat this one up a fair bit. I have my iron on 480 at the moment to try and get enough heat to be able to do this. I don't know whether it'll heat this enough or I have to get my torch out. Guys, I think I'm going to put the torch on this one. It's not playing ball for me, so I'll grab it and we'll be back. Okay, let's see, can we get some of this out of here? You don't want to put this near the coil. This is heating it up a little bit. And just gradually use a little bit of heat on the outside. Once I get this off, this old solder, the new solder should be able to take okay in that situation. There we go. Okay, let's get him out. Right, that's a bit better. It mightn't look better, but it is. And at least I got the old solder and the old piece of wire out of there. Now, on that ground point of that coil, the shortwave coil, I'll put some new solder in. It's flowing in well now. Okay, a little bit excess there. Now we're getting to a point where we've got some good solder happening in there. Done. Okay. Now, let's find the foil end of this fella and mark him. Right, guys, I've connected him up with the crow. I just put the crow on one side, ground on the other. I touch him. Okay, so we're looking about 1 division there. I don't know what we're set at, 2 millivolts per division. So about 1 division. Okay, now without moving my other hand, I swap the leads around and go there. And we're looking close to 1.5 to 2 millivolts per division. So that tells me there's more gain on this side, it's closer to my finger, and this side is the foil side. Okay, that one. We want to try that again. There you go. If I get a better grip there, okay, we'll center it up. What am I doing here? Center it up, with, irrespective of the voltage level, 2 divisions. Okay, on the scope, we'll change him back, holding it the same, and we're looking at about 1.5, 1 to 1.5. So this side is definitely the foil side. We'll swap him back again. and that side has a higher signal. All right, so this is the foil. So I put a mark on him. I get my texter. Where's my black texter here? And I just mark one end, and that's it. That's the foil. That goes to your lowest impedance side, so that will go to ground, and this goes up to your, well, higher impedance being the coil side. That's it. Yes, there's lots of ways of measuring the foil side. That never fails me. I do have another little meter thing. It doesn't seem to work as well as that. So there you go. That's how you find the foil side. Let's put him in. So guys, with fitting this is our foil side. So this will be our ground. That means that the ground and the foil is virtually a shield. Goes right up to the top. And then we keep this as close to the coil or whatever you're using, to the higher impedance side, as fairly close, as close as we can. So we can leave the ground a bit longer. We can put the cap over here next to our case, and then we can sort of come across here. I would probably put him in something. Well, we've got to get him down far enough to connect him, but something like that, where he's mostly, this is definitely the longer lead being the ground. Okay, I'll fit him in something like that. Okay, we'll have a look. Now, I've got the cap in there. This is, which point does our aerial come in on? The aerial comes into our broadcast aerial, but it also goes down to this fella here, which is our shortwave aerial coil. Okay, so, and the aerial also comes up to the switch. Okay, I just put some isopropyl on there. Now I'm not sure. This is a lock nut, but I think this is locked on. Yeah, that one doesn't want to turn, and of course, if we turn him too hard, he breaks the screw, as it happens with lots and lots of these things. So I'll just loosen that off and just make sure everything's going to move. And Yeah, that's fine. Now, this is our oscillator coil. So as you can see, it could be anywhere by the time we put this together. I'm just going to continue and loosen this nut a little bit so he's not restricting us when we do this. And yeah, he doesn't want to let go. I should have a little spanner for this one. Okay, can we hold him and turn him? I might have to get a spanner. Yeah, he does turn okay there. Righto. That's our broadcast oscillator. So once we get him in the right position, we just tighten the lock nut on him and he doesn't move. All right. So I think everything is pretty well done with this. We do have to get some grommets here. The holes are a little bit different size to the ones I've got. I'll find out, what I'm going to use there. Everything up here is okay. It needs a bit of cleaning, of course. I'm going to do that now. The valve cap is good. Everything looks good. Okay, we'll clean this up and then we'll find some grommets, and then it's time to put this assembly back on the radio. I'll also spray a little bit of contact cleaner just on the switch again, which I have done anyway, but just to make sure he's nice and clean, especially while he's out. Okay, we've got this done probably the best we can, cleaned it up. Everything's been done to him. So I think he's ready to put back in. I can't think of anything else that's got to be done. Our nut's done here. The metal is still a bit stained. I'm cleaning this up the best I can, but it's all nice and clean. Everything's running fine. The brass certainly cleans up well, as you can see. That's good enough. Good enough for this little radio. So it's a matter of let's put him back in. Well, guys, I've decided to take it one step further. Yeah, I've taken the cans off the IF transformers. Reason being, I'm going to mask these off, mask the transformer, and get the media blaster in here. This chassis isn't. It's just not coming up the nicest that I'd like it to. Pretty rough. Yeah, it's just not real crash hot. So I'm going to mask up and just put it in the blaster, get it off. I'll have to remove the serial number, obviously, and then re-rivet that on. But yeah, it's just looking at it. Yeah, it's just not real good. And there's parts I can't get to and everything. This, yeah, it's smooth and everything, but I want it better than that. And we might coat it with something. We'll give it a clear coat or something once we've finished it. I want it a fair bit better than this. It's just not shaping up nice. Have to repaint the transformer. Probably, I was going to take the transformer out. I thought, oh, gee, how far do I go with this? There's, there's a bit to taking it out. The wires are tired and probably, won't handle coming out. I don't want to have to put new wires into a transformer, that's for sure. Not with this thing. So we're only interested in the top. So we're going to do the top, tidy this fella up. And these little fellas, well, they'll be okay. We'll just wrap them up in a bit of masking tape. We'll also mask off the valve sockets. I saw Mr. David Tipton do something with these valve sockets. I'm not real sure what it was. I'll probably just mask them off at the moment. But yeah, he also uses cut up magnets that we slide under here and they stay under there. I haven't got any magnets or anything at the moment, so I'll just put some, I don't know, tape or something under those, under this. There's not much that's going to affect with the underneath. I'll probably do the sides. Yeah, I'll probably do the front. Might take these out. The volume control or the potentiometer has to come out anyway because the switch is not working on this. So I've got to fix that. So I can take that out, just drop the tone control down, and that will give me a clear front to for the media blaster. All right, so there it is. Thought this was going to be really quick and it'd clean up nice, but that's not very nice. Okay, I'll drag the machine out. Well, there he is, all rugged up, ready for the media blaster. Nothing's going to hurt there. The little bit of Bakelite around the bottom, well, whatever that material is, probably not Bakelite, but yeah, that's not going to affect it. I can do everything else here. Got the valve sockets covered up. There's nothing under here that's going to hurt. So the back, I've just covered up the serial plate. So nothing there that's going to hurt at all. And well, the front, she's clean now, so nothing there. So all looks good. We'll throw it in the blaster, and yeah, we're not doing this side, that's for sure. But yeah, we'll tuck some wires out of the road here, and yeah, put it in the blaster and see how we go. Well, okay, that's this is what we're left with, and this is just out of the sandblaster now. He's come up fairly well. Give him a coat of lacquer over the top, and I think he should be pretty good. It should be nice enough. Not going to do a lot with the transformer. I want to keep that original as long as he's nice and clean. That may look a bit awful, but in actual fact, it's original, and yeah, I like the look of that. So yeah, wanted to keep that original. These fellas, well, we better get the covers back on them. I'll just check for continuity, but all looks perfect in these. Hopefully the mica caps are fine, and we'll just make sure that I haven't. Well, we know it was working, but just make sure I haven't knocked a wire off or something like this. And of course, the covers on them, a bit ordinary. Yeah, got to do something with them. Okay, that's what's written on them. So 24/7. I don't know what. Obviously, a part number, I guess. I can't think of anything else it'd be. And 24/2. So they're actually different. So well, the cans are different, and these fellas are different as well. But we'll clean these up, get them back on here, and protect these babies. And then we'll go through the next couple of little things. They well, they don't. Well, I suppose it had a goat shield on it at one stage or some sort of cover, but this has been made up, and he goes on the 6B6 in there. That's fine. We'll just clean it up. I might give it a coat of silver paint rather than just galvanised. Yeah, I'll have a look at him anyway. And we have to do the tone switch, clean him up, and the volume pot. So we'll come back to those. All right, first job, let's get these clean. Okay, now these didn't come up too bad, the cans. I just put another label on there because the original one disappeared. But yeah, a little bit hard to see with the light under them. But yeah, they come up pretty well, so that's good. Repainted the shield for the 6B6. Looks a little bit better than just a galvanized piece of metal. And of course, our tuner assembly ready to go in. So let's get this thing back together. There's a couple of things I have to do underneath. As you saw, the power resistor has to be mounted up on top. Yeah, things like that done. So the thing is, these are, a little bit fragile. Let's get the cans, let's get the shield back on here and, yeah, contain this firstly. And I'm going to make a new label for here, a new serial label, so it just looks a little bit nicer, and then we'll put new rivets in that. Okay, let's get going. Okay, I found 3 little grommets that will work, and of course the hole's a bit big in these. I don't have any other grommets with a smaller hole, but I have found some little nylon spacers which are pretty well perfect for what I want to do. Getting him in there is a bit of a hassle. There we go. And there he is. Fits very neatly. And is, well, the screw's still a little bit larger than what the hole is in the spacer. Oh, no, it's pretty well, there's a slight movement there, but that will do the job nicely. That's perfect for what we want to do. So I'll get those in, and then we'll put the tuning block in. So let's put this bit in. And if I remember correctly, it was a little bit of a juggle to get it out. So probably will be to get it back in. I don't want to touch any of the coils on the side of the radio. Okay, I think the oscillator coil was holding us up there. There we go. Right. There we go. Right, well, they fitted in very nicely. I've tightened them up, and there was a little bit of mucking around getting the nuts, especially on this back one, so I didn't record that. But they're all sitting nicely, all with the right spaces. Everything's good with that. So the next thing is to wire this fella up. Now, what's the best position to get this in? There, I guess. First of all, we'll put the aerial in. He goes through up here in the back, comes up around, and to this lug here of the aerial coil. That one there. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, because this aerial cable is shielded, I have to get in here and solder him down to the bottom of the chassis there, or the best we can anyway. I'm sure we can get some solder down onto the chassis there. I'll have to do this off camera. I need to be up here in front of it. So I'll do that. I'll be back. Well, there he is. It looks a bit messy, but that's making a good solder joint onto the chassis, and yeah, the end of the cable there, being a shielded cable, is just making him look bad. I should have put a bit of heat shrink on to tidy that up. But anyway, that's good. So that's done. Top's done. Now we're going to move on over to a couple of leads there, those ones there, which go to our connections over here. So we'll have a look on this tab strip. We'll have a look at a photo and find out which one was where, and solder these up. Oh, we also have this fella. Now this one actually goes on to that point there. So we better solder him on while we're here. I'll try and keep my hands out of the road if I can. There we are. Yeah, needed a bit more solder, but yeah, a little bit difficult. Let's see, can we get a little bit better picture here? Okay. I'll give you a better view of this. There we go. Right. And that's part of the aerial circuit as well. I think just looking at where does that go to? This goes, both of them connected together. So that point that you were looking, whoa, sorry. Hang on. Okay, now that point there, that wire there that we were looking at, is actually comes from the coil, the capacitor, the yellow capacitor is that one there. It comes down here, across to here, and up here. So part of the AGC circuit, and yeah, it goes to resistor. What is it? R146. Now, if we look down here for 146 A and B, they're a 0.1 meg. I guess that's a 0.1. Okay, so that's what these are. Actually, they look like 1 meg. Brown, black, green indicates 1 meg to me. So yeah, I'm not real sure. I guess that's resistor and then 1 meg. So that's where that wire goes to. And they are 1 meg. And I have checked them. Okay, what next? These fellas, let's get them done. Okay, that's got those on. So the red wire goes to the top terminal there, yellow to the bottom. We're not chasing this through the circuit. I'm just showing you in case you have to remove these wires to get this assembly out. That's the way they go around. And we've got our tuning assembly back in. Everything's done in this. Wiring's done underneath this. So now it's time to fit the volume control as the volume pot. As we know, it is the switch is not working. So now we've got to have a look at it and see what's wrong. And then the tone control. Well, the tone switch. It's just the switch on off. I'm just going to have a look at it, clean the contacts up, and then put him back in. And that's our wire to him. Yeah, then it's almost time for the front. We'll get the front on and fire it up and start an alignment procedure. But I think I might make a very straightforward alignment video after this one. We'll get this together and then there'll be the alignment details. And the alignment on these is pretty straightforward. So that's what I'll be doing there. Let's have a look and see what's wrong with the switch on this switch pot. That's the type it is, in case you guys were wondering what it is. Okay, and that's your switch there. It's just not working, not at all. So normally to undo these, I just get a pair of cutters, just pull them out gently, don't pull them out any further than necessary, and that'll get this little plate off, and then remove the back somehow. Well, I think so. Maybe you need to go a little bit further. There we go. Okay. There's our switch assembly in there. We'll have a look at him in a minute. And of course, it's riveted together, so that's not a real good thing. And here's our pot. A very nicely made pot, isn't it? A little spring wiper there that runs around. Boy, they don't make them like that now. Now, he's quite stiff to turn, so he needs a bit of cleaning up in here. There is a little circlip on here. I don't think I'll remove that. I think we'll just leave well enough alone there. We'll clean this up with a little bit of alcohol and just make sure that the pot itself is okay, although it seemed okay when the radio come apart. So there shouldn't be any problems there. Okay, now this is the bit that's not working correctly. Let's see. Let's see what's not working. This may just need some lube. I don't know. That actually seems as though it's going. Yeah, a little bit sticky. I'm going to put some probably flood it with WD-40, put some in there, and then work it around. See, can we get this working certainly without having to remove the two. There's two small rivets there, and I don't want to. I do have other rivets I can put in there, but I don't want to do that. So let's get some WD, although what I use is it's not actually WD-40. I will show you what it is. It's 226, which basically is a very light WD-40. It does the same job, but it's kind to potentiometers and things like this. So yeah, a little bit better. And we'll spray a heap in here, and then we'll flush him out later and try and get him working a little bit. Oh, yes. Gee, almost straight away there. He's snapping into position. But whether it's making contact or not, I don't know yet. But that seems to be pretty good. I hope so, because, well, you can't get pots like this anymore. And if this don't work, I don't really want to go down that track, because we won't find another one. Okay, I'll just get a rag and we'll clean him up a little bit. It's everywhere. And when I said I'd flood him, yeah, well, that's what I did. Anyway, I'll grab a rag. He needed a bit of a clean up, this fella, anyway. I'll also put some cleaner in there. I'm sorry about my horrible squeaky chair in the background. This weekend, I'll be doing something with that. There we go. Let's flush him all out. And this gets rid of all the old tacky stuff. And once again, this is what I use. I've been using this for a lot of years. About probably 30 years ago, I bought 50 tins of this, and I've still got probably 20 left. So, no, you can't buy that anymore. That gets rid of our WD-40, or 226, as it is. CRC product, anyway. Okay, I see what's happened here. Our little fella, our little protrusion there that actually goes into the switch and turns him on and off is actually bent sideways. Oh boy, I hope we can fix this one up. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. There. Okay. So he's straight again now. I hope he's not too stressed. Now, we'll get a cotton bud. We'll put a bit of spray on him. And I'll just give this a little bit of a clean. There we go. Okay. Now, which way around was this thing? That way. That's correct. Because the dirtier side was on top, away from, because the cleaner side was downwards, so it didn't collect the dust and the dirt and everything. Washer on. Now I'll just lean these in a little bit to start with. Now I'll just push him down a little bit, just on a couple of them. Got to be careful because I'll just do this away from the camera for the moment. I don't want to sit anything on the terminals on the back here. And that seems to be working nicely. But as long as he's contacting. Now, I'm going to clean these up first. Not real good there, so we'll give him a little bit of a clean up. We'll get some flux and put on there. Tin him up so he makes good contact. Let's see if he's making contact. Righto, guys, well, I've got him together. I'm just using a couple of alligator clips. And that's good to me. That's working fine. So that's good. That's all ready to put back in. I'll clean up some tabs here and put him back in. So now, this thing, the tone switch. It looks awful, it's dirty, it's horrible. So I am going to remove the little circlip from here and yes, see what I can do with this. Oh, I mightn't have to actually. No, that does that nut come off? I'm not real sure. That maybe that nut comes off that barrel. Let's have a look. Okay, I am going to take that little clip off. Okay, I've got this little clip off. Boy, that takes some getting out, that does. Now, I can take this out and see what's going on here. Very dry. Certainly wouldn't be making any sort of good contact. Yeah, we'll investigate that. Clean up the shaft. Clean up all this the copper wiper that actually contacts on these fellas, and I mean, look at those. They've that's fairly grotty. That certainly wouldn't be making good contact. So yeah, your tone would sort of drift in and out as such, and the same with this one. Okay, so we'll clean him all up. We'll put him back together. There's no sense in me showing you all this. All we're going to do is clean it all up, put it back in, and get this so he's making good contact from one to the other. Okay, so we'll be back real soon. I'll go away and clean him all up. Well, now there's our tone switch, and yeah, he's looking a little bit better, and of course he's in a million pieces. So where the tone switch is, there it is, S32, and he grounds this cap C81. Now if we look over here, C81, this just may help you with various things. See, where is he? He's not even listed on there. Bear with me. Am I looking at it? C81, there he is, a 0.3. So we have, I think, a 0.03. Sorry, I think we've got a 0.027 in there. But anyway, that's where he goes. And the switch S32 there, and this here says switch tone control. So yeah, pretty basic as far as what it does. Just grounds a cap. Now, when I noticed, when I took this apart, there's two terminals on this. One was connected to ground, the other one was connected to the cap. And the switch was either to the cap or to the ground. But if you put the switch to the ground position, the cap was open. If you put the switch to the cap position, yes, it would ground the cap, but only through the shaft itself, which is this little fella. Now, underneath, there was a little tab washer, like so, and he goes on the back, and at some stage, that looks like that's been broken off. That should go up there and connect onto onto there, so that this makes good connection with the chassis. But this wasn't the case with this one. This wasn't connected at all. It was floating over here, and hence the ground was only relying on, yeah, as I said, the ground through the shaft itself, which is greased and yeah, not a real good thing. So we'll fix that up, and yeah, we'll go from there. Now this is what I was trying to explain. I've grounded the washer onto the ground point that will be going in the radio, and the cap goes to here. Okay, so now you can see what I mean. Okay, goes together. I've pushed this down a little bit to give him a little bit of spring, and then we put our circlip or E-clip or whatever you want to call this back on there, and now we just squeeze him up. These things are a lot easier to put on than to get off, as you probably saw me trying to get it off. Okay, so there's your switch working nicely. Okay, that'll be open. That'll be open. So your switch is over in the ground position. The cap is open, and it puts him over here, and he grounds the cap. Simple as that. Okay, so there's our switch done, and we have our pot done. Let's get them in the radio. Righto, guys. Well, with the volume control and the tone switch fitted, RF's done. Let's put the front on. Now, I haven't tried this yet, but really, we need the speaker transformer hooked up before we can try it. So the idea is to put this together and then wire it up, and then we will, the next thing we'll do after this is put him into gear and see if he still works. Now, I've got some little screws there. I'll just go and find them and screw this front on. There we go. Yes, I've got this thing and this thing here, which means a dial cord. I've got to go back and have a look at the videos, and yeah, it's pretty easy though, this one. Not too bad. Okay, our transformer wires will go down through a hole. Oh, where were they? Somewhere in the centre here. So where's our output tube? It's our rectifier. The output is right there. So we'll put the wires down in through there, which is almost beside the, what is it, Ian? EL33. Okay, so that's where I'm putting them through, right beside where the socket is. Okay. I'm not real sure where they come out of. I think it's around about there. And yes, actually, I think it was there. So this goes on the plate, which is this fella here, and the red goes to your HT, which is this fella here. So nice and close to one another. So we'll, and yeah, I'm using my cutters again. My wire strippers are sitting on the other bench. I know, should be using them. It's quicker this way. Okay, just pre-tin them. So there he is. Plate wires in. So everything has been done now that I was going to do. So let's put the valves in. Let's hook up a power cord and turn it on and make sure this unit still runs after we've done a few things to it. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. Okay, now we've put the power cord in temporarily, put a cable tie on him to hold him there. That's one side of the transformer, 240 volt tap there, goes into the tranny, and the other active lead goes to the switch, and through the switch to the transformer. So we've got all that in, everything's right there. So all that remains now is put some valves in. These cables here are also our 6.3 dial lamps, 6.3 volt dial lamps. We'll eventually do something with them, but for the moment, put the valves in, see if it's going to work. This will be interesting. Rightio, it's valve time. ECH 35. Now, strangely enough, I've yet to look up the difference here. ECH 35 on the circuit. Okay. Now there's 1120G. I'm not real sure which this one is. It just says 1120. But our valve is an ECH 33, not a 35. But anyway, this one works. That's all we're worried about. Perhaps a couple of comments on what's the difference between a 33 and a 35. Be interesting to know. So put our grid cap on that fella, and he's ready to perform. Now, the next one, 6G8. 6G8G. This fella. Get him in. And he's a little bit tight because of his shield. I've just got to find the keyway that drops him in. There we go. And he's certainly home there. Okay. Put his grid cap on. we go. Now, big fella, EL33. Some of the conductive sprays come off around the bottom there. I don't think that will affect it a lot. We've got a little ground wire just poking out there, but this is a shield that was painted on around it. Don't know whether that's going to affect things. I don't think it will. Okay, there he is. And last but not least, there he is, our little 6X5. So I'll put him in. Righto, guys. She's ready to fire up. Let's put it on the dim bulb and let's see if the little unit still works after being through my media blaster and everything else. Of course, the tuning will be out. I've altered lots of things, so yeah, nothing much is going to happen, but we may be able to get some static out of it. Okay, so time for the dim bulb, and as you can see up there at the back left hand side, that's the one I'll be using. Okay, that little frosted fella. So we'll get him connected up and I'll be back. And there he is, all connected up, and I'll just bump my lights there. I'll have to pause this. We've got a mower running, and I can hardly hear myself thinking here because a bloody mower is going right next door to my workshop. Well, the mower's a bit further away now. After half an hour, you can probably still hear it. Okay, now we'll put our variac on. We think we're okay here. We're going up for 220 volts. I'll just start it on 220. Dim bulb is off at the moment. Okay, so make sure our radio is off. Dim bulb is now on. Now, if you watch that light, that lamp there, that's the one that's on. Okay, let's turn him on, see what happens. And I was mistaken. It's on this one. Okay, here we go. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. This is our HT. Okay, so that's coming up. And of course, the dim bulb has dropped right off now. So, and we got the, and she's starting to draw a bit of current, as you can see there. And have we got anything yet? What are we on? 105, way too low. Okay, we'll switch over to the second dim bulb. Gives us a bit more oomph. We'll go to 240. Obviously, there's nothing happening. HT's going up nicely now. And here we go. We got anything? Probably won't get anything in here anyway. Yeah, we'll put our Bakelite tuning wheel on, and that way I can turn it around without affecting the radio. But yeah, in here, I mean, the lights are 300 mil away, so it's going to get interference. Right, job done there. Turn him back on, and away we go. Now we're on dim bulb there at the moment. I'm going to bypass. There's no need for the dim bulb at the moment. Here she comes. And no stations. But still, that doesn't mean a lot at the moment. There's been a lot of twisting of the IF cans. Oh. Phone works. And we'll just get the aerial the best place we can. Okay. Well, it's working. I can hang on to the aerial. Let's see.
Those particular
Just a minute, I'll turn the slide off.
approaches, so typically you might have, say, 80, where Alaska might only have 2. And then I think the magic number is 237. So we can get to...
This is my workshop for you. Okay, but there it is. It's working. There is no alignment done on this. It's, as I said, it'd be way out of alignment. Righto, guys. Well, as you can see, that's working fine. The radio's working. There we are. Going nicely. Now, we'll check a few voltages just to make sure everything's right, but I've been through just about everything. We're calling it quits on this one for the moment. On the next video, we will do the dial cord, which will be pretty straightforward, and the pointer, the glass. We'll set the needle, so top and bottom at the set points on the glass. Then we'll do our 455 alignment and our oscillator and broadcast alignment. Now, shortwave, I'm not sure of. This thing seems awfully quiet on shortwave. This could be just, tuning, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is 455 kilohertz. Let's get that going to start with. All right, so on the next video, it'll be pretty straightforward. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in for the journey of this so far. Probably taken a little bit further than what I thought I would, but I'm enjoying showing you what I'm doing, and you might pick up something to take away from this. There's a lot of these little units around. They're everywhere, little plum puddings. So yeah, we'll call it on this one. And if you like it, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want to follow me on the next one. And well, I've got quite a few videos on there as well now. So yeah, if you want to browse through, subscribe, hit the bell, and it'll tell you when I put the part 3 of this little fella up, or any other videos that are going up. Okay, so until next time, won't be long away. Bye for now.